good, man.
Fuck off, man. I don't like you. Check. Check.
Biggest influences. There's several, I think. I think I started off with like David Gray being a pretty big influence. Coldplay was pretty up there. It was mainly off the backdrop of my sister's musical sort of inclinations and my parents as well. So it was a huge mixture of a bunch of stuff, man. It was like from Jesse Cook, who's like this classical guitarist or whatever, to like Diana Krall, who's like very jazz, sort of, jazz vibes, and then just like a huge mixture. I think my dad had a lot to do with it as well, because he was a musician, so I think I've definitely picked up on quite a bit of his sort of phrasings and like intonations and everything. Like, I'd have to say like my dad's probably the biggest influence in terms of like musicality, and then the genres have just all mashed together. Well, my dad got me this really shitty guitar when I was like 2. I think there was like this nylon string, like tiny, like little guitar. I think him and his friends bought them for their kids or whatever. So I started messing around with that, and Dad taught me some like sort of root notes and stuff, and I started messing around with that. But it wasn't obviously. I was like 2, so there was no tonal like qualities or whatever. But I've honestly just always been into music. Like my dad obviously is a musician, and I'd listen to him when I was like a kid, like in the months, like 9 months. I'd just like sit there and look at like him playing guitar and singing and everything. So I feel like it's always been there for me. Yeah, like from the very start. I honestly don't think gigs are highlights for me at all. Like they just kind of are. I had a really cool experience in Chandigarh right now when I was there. It's just a really cool upcoming scene there, which I really enjoyed sort of witnessing like firsthand. On the road, I feel like for me, like the best times are when there's no buildings around me. That's why like no concrete, kind of just like nature, man. Like I get so inspired when I see beauty and when there's fresh air and stuff like that. The standard kind of stuff. Yeah. I think there's been so many cool like points of each gig that I've appreciated, but I think like a highlight for me was playing in this place called the Hotel Cafe in California, and it was just really amazing to move from like a place like Delhi or whatever, where there's cafe. It's more of like a cafe sort of culture right now. And I've done that since I was like 15 or 16 or something. So it was a really nice change for people to come specifically for the music, sit down, listen to what I had to say, what I had to like sing, and just be like completely silent while I was like, that was like a huge highlight for me, which is, it's kind of sad, but but it meant a lot to me. Like people came there specifically to just listen, and they did that, and it just felt really good at the end of it. It wasn't like energetic or anything. It was just real, which was really sick for me. Yeah. Definitely, man. Yeah, for sure. Like I've been playing in various like places, like I said, since I was 16, and like I don't want to say back then because it wasn't that long ago or whatever. I haven't been here for that long, but I feel like it has, like in the last like year even, or whatever, just the whole like even the house gig thing has just become like a really cool culture. where like real music lovers come to listen, and the artist feels appreciated, and it's this brilliant back and forth kind of thing where it's not selfish, you know. It's not like I feel like the restaurant pub gigs is a selfish thing. It's either for the musician trying to get gratification from the crowd, or the crowd just coming there to socialize and trying to get gratification from the musician. Play like Hotel California and Baby by Justin Bieber and all of that stuff. So it's got that selfless kind of vibe, which I really like. And I think it's going to pick up, man. The whole world is watching India to see. Like, I've talked to a bunch of producers who are just stoked on like what's happening in India, and they're looking for talent like from afar. But it's going to kick off. Like, we think this is cool right now, but it's just starting, which is sick. It's promising. I love the fourth because it's not a business transaction. It's just creative minds coming together to start something, which is really cool, man. It's involving a bunch of different people. It's keeping it small, which I like, so it's not like mass producing like these huge events or whatever. It's like small, it's niche, it's like it's good to go, you know. And it's different in the sense that there's no like prior agreements as such. It's not like a contract or like anything like formal. It's like it's really relaxed, and I feel like that's where the arts in a sense sort of flourish the most, because there's no pressure from either side. It's not like, yo, you have to get like 20 people or whatever, and you've got 2 beer coupons and like a non-veg pizza, and and that's just how it is. But it's cool because there's none of that even discussed. It's not even like a thing. It's just, we think you're good at music, we've got a venue, we've got people who are wanting to come listen to you, and it's like, it's mellow, which I appreciate. And I like, where will you be when the arts call?